Okay, good morning, everybody. Thank you all for your patience. We've got our team here. SWAT Commander Larry Bainbridge, Chief Edwards is the duty chief. Chief Bainbridge is the bureau chief here. Larry Saddlewhite is the Special Operations Homeland Security Chief. Huh? Okay, you know you're getting old when your lieutenant from SWAT that you've known for almost 4 years thinks I don't know his name is Lieutenant Besselman. That really hurt my feelings, but that's okay. Sorry, and Commander Halliday. So first and foremost, I want to thank our SWAT team and our patrol officers for the phenomenal job they did last night. I'm going to take this off since you guys are far away. I want to thank them for their excellence. I think our SWAT team is second to none. They do phenomenal work, and this is more evidence of that. If you saw earlier, we had three bulldogs I had to deal with in this operation, and I'm just really thankful that those bulldogs, one of them was not very nice. As you can see, the one that kept wanting to bite us when we were trying to move them, but they were able to keep those dogs alive. But what happened this morning at about 2:18 a.m., the Houston Police Department Southeast Patrol received Southwest Patrol, excuse me. Southwest Patrol received the call of a suspicious person with a firearm here in the location behind me. At about 2:24 a.m., patrol officers arrived from Southwest Patrol. They went up to the door of the apartment that you see open, right there with the door open. I don't remember the apartment number or the address, but they went to the apartment. They could hear loud arguing between a male and a female, male and female voices. At that time, they announced themselves, tried to get the residents inside, the people in the house, to open the apartment door, and the individual inside, who eventually wound up being arrested, started yelling at them that you don't want to come through that door, you know, you're going to be killed, and making terrorist threats against our officers and threats of that nature. At the same time, we had a Precinct 5 deputy that was on the other side of the apartment, could see in and was able to see that the suspect was armed with a firearm. Additionally, the officers, upon arrival, were advised by residents here in the area that the suspect had come out and discharged a single shot from a shotgun. We have recovered evidence of a shotgun from a shotgun shell outside here near the scene, and so the suspect is believed to have discharged a shotgun in the middle of the night. At about 3:29 a.m., as patrol and our watch commander continued to engage the suspect, trying to get him to come out, a complainant, an individual that was actually being kept in there, was able to escape out of a window upstairs. At about 3:29, that complainant advised officers that the suspect was indeed armed and that there were other individuals in there, that he was acting irrational and was not willing to come out, and they couldn't come out. Shortly thereafter, patrol called out SWAT a little after 4 a.m. SWAT arrived on scene, and at about 5:04 a.m., a second complainant was able to escape through the second out the window. That complainant advised that there were other individuals in there, and again, we knew we had an armed individual that was acting irrational. Our HN team, hostage negotiations team, was on scene along with SWAT. We were able to get the individual on the phone, establish communication, maintain communication, and the suspect throughout this entire exchange with the hostage negotiation team was screaming profanities, was not cooperative, then would promise to come out, then he would make an excuse not to come out, and this went on for quite a while. About 7:10 a.m., two more individuals were able to escape and come out the back door of the apartment, and all these individuals that I've mentioned that have been able to come out have been detained and actually will be debriefed by our investigators and our detectives. At about shortly before 8:59, shortly thereafter, our SWAT team decided to engage in a plan of action to get this individual out because he was clearly not coming out, and they discharged and breached a window that you can see, you should be able to see broken. I want to say that our hostage negotiation team did a phenomenal job of actually reading the suspect. They made that recommendation in consultation with our executive team, our command team, our leadership cadre, and their recommendation, their assessment was that if they were just to break one window, the suspect would come out, and sure enough, it worked. So I want to send my compliments, give my compliments to our team that did a phenomenal job of engaging this individual and actually getting him out. We do have some tragedy to report, though. Upon entering this location, our SWAT team in clearing the location found 2 deceased male Hispanic adults. We suspect that drugs may be involved and that an overdose may be involved. We suspect drug activity may be involved in this by the suspect in this location. We have obviously secured warrants, search warrants. Our homicide detectives are en route, and this will be conducted as a homicide murder investigation because of these individuals. We had no knowledge that we had 2 people in there that may be in need of medical attention and that may be in need of intervention, medical intervention. And this suspect obviously potentially might have kept them there without the ability to get medical intervention. And subsequently, we have 2 dead people. So there will be a very in-depth criminal investigation. Homicide detectives will be out here. Our narcotics division will be looking at this individual in this location. But again, we will be here for the next several hours. I want to thank the community, the residents in this area. We know that having SWAT and having the police department out here for hours is an inconvenience. We know that it probably inconvenience folks, but you know that the sanctity of life to our department is key, and trying to keep people safe was key. And again, I want to close before I open up the questions with thanking our SWAT team, all of our chiefs that come out. I'm really proud of our team. Unlike other places, this team leads from the front, and we're not out here to micromanage. We're out here to support one another, and we're out here to let this community know that what happens in this community means something. It means something from Mayor Turner and the City Council, all our elected officials. It means something from the chief on down to the cadet at the academy. So with that, I'll open up the questions. But again, there was no use of force here by our SWAT team. Unlike what people think, SWAT teams, and especially our SWAT team, we gauge our success, and we consider the best success is when we can resolve these highly volatile, dangerous situations with armed suspects without the loss of life. And once again, these men, and sooner or later we'll have women, we're working on that, do a phenomenal job. And so with that, I'll open up the questions. And is there any Spanish out here? Okay, no, all right. Okay.
Do you think, was he on something, or what?
There's a high probability that, part of what we've gotten so far preliminarily is that he was out with these people that we don't know what the relationship is out in a bar in the area. There's alcohol involved, and there's probably be a high probability that there's going to be drugs involved in terms of who's ingested it, and that will be part of the investigation.
I know you kept saying he was rambling. Was he saying anything on like why he was holding these people?
No, he was just screaming profanities and not being cooperative, and then saying he was going to come out, and then time and again he would not come out, and he would make excuses of why he wasn't coming out. But again, our hostage negotiation team and our SWAT team read the tea leaves here, and sadly the only thing that we wish we would have known is that there was 2 people in there that potentially were experiencing and dying from a potential overdose. And again, this is preliminary information. Had we known that, had someone told us that, I think we might have changed the dynamics a little bit. But again, we don't have an 8-ball. We don't have a magic 8-ball. He wasn't telling us he was about to shoot people. He hadn't discharged any other rounds at anyone here in the scene other than that first discharge of the shotgun that was reported to us by community members. And so I think with the information, we always have to act with the information we know as a police department. And based on the information we knew, I think that our folks, this is a textbook operation by our SWAT team. Anything else?
I mean, for the guy to jump from the second, from the window, for his escape from the second story, he must have been really scared for his life.
Yeah, you're not kidding. But there is a way to do it. And you'll notice that there's a ledge. See that second window up there behind me? You see there's a little ledge. You can hold on to that and try to work your way down to the second one. I don't know how tall this guy was, but that's a pretty good drop. And I think he injured his arm in the process.
Was he just telling him, "I'm not going to let you go," or what was he?
I don't have all the details yet. And again, we have to debrief these complainants. Our investigators have to debrief them. But when you're armed and you're acting irrational and you've already discharged a weapon, You know, I can tell you that if they were free to go, they wouldn't have been going. They wouldn't be leaving through the second door window. I think that that's what it's called, a tell and a clue in our business. There's a reason the guy came out the second window like he did. Anything else?
Was it a total of 6 males, Chief?
Say again?
6 males altogether?
I think we had about 6 males in there, and one female. That is, I think she escaped through the back door.
So it's 3 males, 1 female, 2 deceased males.
That preliminary, that sounds right. You know, we have to conduct a secondary search now with homicide that's here, and then we'll provide an update later on this afternoon. Anything else? Thank you all for your patience, and again to the community, thank you all for your patience. Appreciate you all. Thank you.